Where's your...
What is wrong with him?
Oh man, you have no idea how much I wanted to share it, but Robin said, wait.
Welcome everybody to 48 Talk, episode number 64. I am your host, Derek Vasconi, and joining me today is DX, that Canadian guy, and the lovely Josh. What's up, Josh? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Cho.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. And DX, Yayo, good to have you as well.
Oh, yeah.
We had a very late night, as did most of the 48 fandom. You know, the Janken was last night, and yes, we are going to get into it pretty heavily. We're going to do a lot of discussion about everything that happened, including the I don't know if you considered a good announcement or not, or a fun announcement. I guess we'll get into that as well. But we have other things to talk about too today, and we want to get to those kind of right away. Before we do, though, just want to let everybody know that Robin is back. You know, he is resting, taking a breather. He did also watch a junket. He also did a few other things, if you didn't see there. And, you know, next week it's going to be all about Robin. Hopefully he'll join us again and talk about his amazing experiences in Japan, including one very cool surprise that none of us even knew about. Well, at least I didn't until about 30 seconds ago. And that surprise is going to be very interesting to all of you as well. Trust me when I say that.
Yep.
But anyway, Josh, again, thank you so much for being here. We've had a bunch of guests since Robin has been gone. And everybody's been really great. We've been really wanting to have you on. And I guess the timing is really good in this sense, too, because we had an announcement last night from Nogizaka also. I'm going to let you take it away, Josh. This is more your field, and I kind of want to just get into it. Why not? Because we got a lot of ground to cover today.
Yeah.
What do you think about the single? First of all, give us a prep on the single. Who's the announcement, the center? Go on. Floor is yours, my man.
Yep.
All right. So last night, it was announced on Kakanai, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I can never say it.
Kakanai.
Yeah. I always say the middle part. That always confuses me. It was announced the new single, which is their fifth single, right? Fifth?
Yeah.
Fifth. Okay. Fifth. And then last night when I went to sleep, I was like, I better wake up to a Techila single. Woke up, found out it was Techi, and then looking at her face in the actual episode, she's like, oh, not again.
Oh man, so not surprised there.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do we think about that? I mean, should Techi have gotten a break?
She definitely does, because I think she's on the point of breaking down pretty much, or she is gonna break down, or she already did, but man, she needs to rest. Management, please, let her just be in the back row for a single, and really have someone else as a center. But, I don't know, man.
Well, Josh, I mean, who would you like to have seen be a center for the single?
Neto is being pushed a lot, and now that she's a full kanji member, she's no longer hiragana.
Yep.
I think that would have been a good transition for her.
Exactly.
To kind of present to the world, hey, she's kanji and she's the center now. Or maybe the captain could be, but as we know with Sakamichi, the captains are never the centers.
No.
Another one people were saying is Yuipon.
Right.
Who would have also been a good choice. So there were a lot of options, but they stuck with Techi. So
yeah, I mean, staying with Techi again, she's the dark Achan for me. I could see if we look at the trajectory of AKB in the early years, how many singles was Achan for? I mean, it was like what, over 20 before they decided, hey, let's do something different. You know, and even Takamina, you can argue, was in there in the beginning too, but mostly it was all on Achan's shoulders. I don't know. K is not big enough to necessarily have like a Sasenkyo, really. You know, they don't have enough members. But at the same time, I still could see the fans voting and making like a mini Sasenkyo, I guess. Like just, you know, vote for the top, you know, the top line, like maybe the you know, Kami 7. But I also think at the same time, you know, maybe they're just trying to milk Techi for all she's worth, so to speak. I mean, before she burns out, because this girl, she came into the scene this year like a fireball. and really have captured all of us, and really has shown us a whole other side of the idol world and where we could go with the idol world, both with the music, her fierceness. In fact, she's only what 16 now, 15.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, this girl is ridiculous. But she's the Dark Achan. She doesn't have that Genki spirit, that power. It's more of the opposite, and yet somehow it's still appealing. Would you agree, Josh?
Yeah. I could totally see the appeal in having her being front and center. She's kind of like the image girl right now, and especially with the style of songs they're going for, she's definitely a runner for being in center for a while.
Having said that, it does make me wonder if the fifth single is going to be just as dark as the other ones, because you have the Dark Idol at the top of it, leading. Mm-hmm. But I was going to say, Shida Manaka, she's my kind of favorite girl, and I would love to have seen a single with her. I think it'd been much more fun, much more idol-like. I guess traditional idol-like, you could say. But at the same time, I'm actually not necessarily disappointed it's Techi. I do fear for her health, because or whatever's going on with her. But then again, whatever's going on with her is what kind of makes her appealing. So it's just, I don't know, it's kind of a catch-22 there. You know what I mean? So it's good, but it's bad. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments. Anyway, who follows Kea, which is pretty much everybody that checks out our videos every week. I don't know. I'm curious. I am curious to see the style if they continue with it. I can't see Techi dressed up in all brights and
no. It's gonna be probably a dark single again.
She did that once though. She did dress up once.
Did she?
What was
that?
Like she had like a special in one show, I think, like she had to like wear white because the males are like wearing the tux, so like she has to be the contrast, and like she was singing beautifully. I think it's one show. I forgot what it is.
Oh wow!
Good. Yeah, good recall. I do remember. Wasn't Techi part of a fashion show too? Didn't she like walk?
I think so, but
yeah.
If I remember, I was like, who is that? Wait, that's Techi? Normal? Like, I don't know. In my head, sometimes I just have this image that they go to bed in their idol clothes, they wake up in their idol clothes, and like sometimes there's so much the face of a group, you can't pitch them outside of it. So it's just, that's interesting. Very cool. Okay. All right. So speaking of the 46 groups, so moving on, Nogizaka is put out, their 19th single, I believe.
Yeah.
And again, Josh, gonna let you take the floor. I have some thoughts on it, but before I get into it, tell us about that.
Okay, so 19th single, Ituka dekiru kara kyou dekiru.
Yeah.
So they released the music video for that song, and when I first watched it, I'll admit I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But then after Derek and a couple people in the chat from yesterday were talking about it, I was like, I'll take another listen to this and focus on what they're saying. And I even looked up like the English lyrics and everything. And the song is better than when I first listened to it. So I'm glad that it's a little better in my eyes. Because in the beginning I thought, okay, this is like, if you were to take a cookie cutter of what Nogizaka songs are like, it's kind of like this. But now looking at it, it is a little bit different. It still has the airy breeze of Nogizaka, but it has some other styles mixed into it, which I really liked.
But what kind of style of song is it? Because I haven't seen it yet, so can you give a quick synopsis about the lyrics and such?
I'll let the person who's more in tune with music answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was basically... I hate to use a terrible pun here. It was a breath of fresh air. It was very ambient. It started out the main thing for me was the piano. Very, very gorgeous piano. Again, maybe I guess in that sense, Josh, you're right. Some of the other Nogi songs I've heard do definitely have these strong piano like backing tracks, but this piano was so front and center. And then it went into like a 4-on-the-4 club thumper. Like it was like, I didn't expect that because the build, like normally when you hear club thumpers, it's like you have that and it builds.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like a miniature one, but then the chorus was great, and it was just it kind of, even though it had a miniature pre-chorus build, like the actual chorus was so powerful, it almost didn't need a build, and I thought that's what was so incredible about it. And then that piano and the singing over it was very minor key, and I like minor key stuff, and just overall gorgeous. The MV was very cool. I don't know, just it's finally I've been saying it for a while. Like I'm not the biggest fan of Nogi, and nothing against them. I just can't get into the breeziness of them. I mean, their songs never go to that edge. I mean, I'm more of a KF46 like dark, edgy type person. I like those type of songs, or anything dance track is pretty much I'm gonna like. But this song didn't just have the dance stuff I like. It also had the piano that like. If I, another thing I'm a big sucker for are really good piano tracks with hooks. This had a hook in it. So I don't know, it combined everything I like in music. And so it was fantastic, man. You got to check it out, DX. Yeah, did you have a chance to check it out?
I'm looking forward to it then. Sorry?
Hmm?
Did you have a chance to check it out?
Yeah.
I'm actually listening to it while you guys are like talking.
Oh, wow. Timing, dude. Timing. Oh, my God.
I'm just looking forward to the movie, and I get to hope to collab with some people to get the subs going,
Oh, wow. Oh, boy.
I said it here. No, like that banner there is not being used right now. They've been subbing, so.
Right on, man. Right on.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. Here's the thing, though, Josh. That kind of brings me to the question I've been wanting to ask you for a while. And it's about Nogizaka in general. It's a two-parter. One, where do you see Nogizaka heading? Because it seems like they've been staying in the same place for a long time now. Even though, yes, they're getting bigger. They got Tokyo Dome looming ahead. But I don't know. I kind of feel like they're in the same place. And as an addition to that question, do you think they need a big change? And if so, what do you think?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I do see how you could be thinking that they're a little bit stagnant. With the addition of the third gen, I feel like that was a change that was needed.
Okay.
It was a little stagnant before. Like when they introduced the second gens, it was a little bit of a change, but since they didn't push them a lot, it was kind of like the same thing, and here are the second gens over here. But now that they sort of like casually have mixed in with the rest, now the third gen have been so prominent that they're kind of like kanji hiragana, but except they're their own little group. So it's a change that I think was needed because, as you said, it was a little stagnant for a while. And I think with these third gens, it will include a change that was needed.
See, again, I'm not the biggest Nogi fan in the world, but just from my backseat perspective, what I've been looking at with Nogi, it seems to me that they've been, I don't want to say riding on the coattails of AKB48 because that's not true. They have definitely carved out their own thing. They have their own superstars. They're very well recognized, and my goodness, are they popular as ever? I mean, they're playing the Dome. That says it all.
Yep.
But I would say at the same time, we're not getting any shocks or major surprises. It seems from Nogi. We're not getting any like major innovation from them either. They're just being an idol group. And I guess to me, just considering AKB's ups and downs and their peaks and valleys, Nogi's been kind of on the same peak for a long time, and I just wonder if there's a bigger peak to cross after Tokyo Dome. Because once they hit that, it's that's an iconic status for any group. Which, by the way, I think K is going to get it next year. I just have a feeling. Just saying. I think it's going to be like the shortest time ever for a group to make it there. But that's a whole other thing. I would say like as far as like Nogi goes, it's just been bugging me, especially because when I watch her news stuff, I just where are they headed? Where are they going? What's up, Yayo?
What? What's that?
What is he doing?
It's supposed to be a spear or something.
Oh,
or...
he's talking about the movie.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what is he talking about?
Maybe he's answered my question for me. Maybe they're just gonna do like a whole movie thing. I don't know.
Hey.
But what do you think? Like I just if you could see a change, or if you could put a change in, third gen yes was good, but what do you see?
Like in the future after Tokyo Dome?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, one of the options is like as everyone is in the fashion world and modeling and kind of acting, maybe they could go dive deeper into that. Us as international people don't really see that influence as much, like seeing them in different fashion magazines or in all the magazines it looks like. And being in movies now with their new movie, maybe we don't see it as much of a change, but then over there they're like becoming more in the mainstream market, more in the movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. So they're gaining popularity slowly but surely. As you said, it's kind of stagnant, but I feel like it's a slope. It's a slope of going up. Meanwhile, the other groups are like sharp turns, I guess.
They're more volatile, so they're more volatile, I would say.
Yes. Yes, very good. Good. That's good. Here's what I was thinking too. I would love to see Nogi as well as Kea as well as even AKB, do more shows. How about just play more? They're music groups. At the end of the day, that's what they are. And surprisingly, we don't have piles of DVDs coming our way from concerts. AKB for a while there was just churning them out like nothing. They were playing all the time. That seems to have gone away with a lot of these groups. And I think for Nogi, one of the big things, they could go international finally. They haven't, to my knowledge, really been outside of Japan all that much. I mean, what they did Asia, right?
They've been in Paris actually.
Yeah, they were in Paris once.
Okay, so they've been in Paris, which is good, very good. But they haven't come to the States. They haven't really ventured farther. I don't know. It'd be cool to see that for a next step. I think just expanding the international fan base. Hopefully they don't forget about us. Hopefully they do that. So
yeah, I think like Nogizaka and Keyakizaka can go like international if they wanted to. Just because they have like a lot of appeal.
Yeah, they do. And if we look at like AKB, for example, recently, like all the sister groups have now joined, the YouTube community. You can now watch all the videos if I'm correct. I'm correct on that, right?
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct.
Sister groups.
What about Nogi and Kea? We can see all their stuff too, yeah?
Nope.
Okay, so there you go. That would be another step for them, is to say, hey, let's move our music more into a worldwide perspective, because it's kind of like when I've been a longtime fan of Perfume. They are my favorite group in the whole world. Nothing will ever change that. And Perfume's biggest accomplishment, after they did the Tokyo Dome twice, was screw it, let's go international, and they did. And they went one little world tour in Asia, then they moved more to Europe, then they moved to America. Finally, took them over 10 years, but they did it. And it's been one of the best things for them, because now there's so many fans here in the United States that know who Perfume is, much more than when I was first listening to them and like, hey guys, check this out. I'd throw them on in my car and people were like, what is this? Like, you're crazy here. Just stop listening to this stuff. Those girls' voices are too high, but it's just like, now maybe not so much, and Nogi, I think Nogi, AKB, even, they all could benefit from that. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, definitely, because they need to expand more worldwide, I would say. And AKB is starting to take steps, but Nogi, not so much, pretty much. So, yeah, I would love to see more, but they have to make it easy accessible, so yeah.
I would too. And Nogi, it'll be interesting to see where they go. Got to be honest, though, I finally have a song now from them that I genuinely have been playing and love, and I hope they just put out more like that, because I'm all for it. I'm totally all for it. Also, speaking of worldwide stuff, and this is kind of a little footnote, but one that needs mention nonetheless. Nozawa Reina put out a video. It's like her worldwide series. Nozawa Reina, because she could speak fluent English and Japanese as well, very bilingual this girl is. She put out a video where she toured the very touristy district in Tokyo of Asakusa. It was very beautiful, very well done. She did it in Japanese and in English. Very fun with its editing, very kind of lighthearted. What do we think about this? Because I thought it was amazing and good for her. But what do we think?
I really liked it, actually, because I have been to Asakusa quite a few times already, and it's more like I've always been to the touristy part of Asakusa, but Nozawa Reina did a good job of displaying all of it, pretty much. So yeah, I really liked it. I also comment, and it's one of the few videos that you can actually comment, and it's not being monitored by AKB itself, pretty much. So usually when you comment on an AKB video, you can't directly see it in the feed, pretty much. So it was really fun. It was a nice change of pace for her in any case. So I really liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think it's super impressive because she edited and filmed it by herself.
Yep.
And pretty much she just gave the video file to them and they uploaded it. And I mean, first time editing and doing a video, it came out pretty good.
I didn't think, yeah.
Yeah, and just her like reaching out to the international audience right after they released like the break on the region block.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a sign that they're trying to like appeal more to international, as we were talking about earlier, or I mean, that's the gist I get.
Well, I think with AKB48, they have certain girls that are their international girls. You have Ma Ling for, the Taiwanese connection. You have Gotodara. You have, Nozawa Reina. And when those girls are, put in the position of being the international girls, then they go to those girls for the international connection. So I don't really know if it's necessarily an overall outreach. It's just it's a way for these girls to stick out individually, and I'm all for it. But I would say the thing is two things. One, like I've been asked because I actually stayed there for almost a month at one of my many trips to Japan. Got a good deal on an apartment. It was really cheap there, and I was a little apprehensive at first because I didn't want to really be in a tourist district for a lot of reasons. Not because I'm elitist or anything. Like it just sometimes just very difficult to be around that many people that are just not. I don't even know how to put it. They're all there to go see the big temple, you know, the Sensoji Shrine, and it's just sometimes it's annoying to me.
The typical tourist, I would say. Yeah.
Right. It's just, but to my surprise and to everyone's credit that I saw there, it wasn't like that at all. People were extremely friendly. They were kind to me, kind to my little one. Everybody was very, very, very cool, and it was a pretty nice overall feel. And to see Nozawa there it was just blowing my mind. Like, oh my god, I walked everywhere you were. I've been there so many times actually in that month. But aside from that, my personal experience, the actual overall significance of this is, as you said, she reached out the almost like the moment after basically AKB lifted the ban or signed their contract to YouTube Red or whatever they did, that now we have these videos and the AKB channel available to us. That's awesome because Nozawa, again, she's so not used the way she needs to be used. She's such a good reach. She's a good person. She's extremely smart. She's probably one of the smartest members in all of AKB48 if you really want to think about it. This girl she has upper level management written all over her. You know what I mean? And I mean, this girl easily should be in Senbatsu every year without exception. And it's nice to see her not giving up. Nice to see her not sitting in her room feeling bad for herself, that she's not part of AKB's 48 direct conversation every week. She made her own conversation happen. She's a self-starter. AKB needs that. Remember we were talking last week about how all these girls need to have their own individual expression. What did Nozawa do? Boom. I swear she watches our show because she was like,
let's hope so.
Check this out.
Let's do a collab. Let's do a collab.
She saw Yayo dancing and she's like, I gotta do something to get this guy's attention. He's amazing.
Oh man.
Wouldn't you want to do something for him? So very, 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 very cool. Nozawa, if you are watching, we love you. We think you're amazing. Please keep putting out more for us. And I think she's even actually asked what we want to see next.
Yeah,
correct?
what part of Tokyo or what part of Japan you want to see next? Yeah.
Responding is a different issue.
I was trying to think like what part I wanted to do. I mean, Akihabara would be fun, an obvious choice. But I mean, anybody else have any ideas where they would like to see her go?
Maybe Shibuya.
Maybe LA and do a collab with me and Derek.
Yes. We'll see. She can come here and do her comedy thing, and we'll laugh even if she's not funny because we just want her here.
Wow.
We could bring in a lot of people to watch her. We could do that.
My god.
Oh, definitely.
She'd have a packed house, man. It'd be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so good job, Nozawa. Just had to bring that out. Like paying attention to people that are doing something different in AKB, and she's certainly one of those people. Moving on. Two things one thing real quick and then one thing kind of real quick. First of all, we have a great international community. Somebody that really helps us every week, helps all of us, is Paul, who runs AKB Dailies, whatever it is now, J Showbiz. He had to change it. That has recently went down. And now he's back to the FC2 channel he has. I'm just letting you know, and I'm letting Paul know. First, Paul, we love you. We support you completely. But this is also kind of a thing where I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I just want to say this. I think it's really crappy whoever's targeting Paul. This is like the 10th time this poor kid has had to take down his site and redo it somewhere else. And he's not giving up, to his credit. But I don't know, if you guys see Paul online or go to the FC2 channel, please give him a shout out and please tell him, good job, because I think he could use it. I know his spirits are down, and I mean, Paul is my friend, and just I don't know, I just think it's kind of crappy, but he'll be back up. He always is. But it's just, he is responsible for all of our news. I mean, him and you, Josh. I mean, that's it. Like, no one else is doing it for the international community, really. I mean, on that level. So, I don't know. I just want to just give a shout out to Paul there real quick. Oya, she graduated yesterday. Oya Masana. What are our thoughts? Did anyone see the concert or anyone see images?
I've seen some still images from the concert, and somehow I've kind of really, yeah, I feel really bad or nostalgic, bit of a mixed feeling pretty much. And some of the images were like captioned with last time she gets to chase the kids pretty much. So she was always known as the lonely cult from SKE48. SKE48. So it was really funny to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend was actually watching, and boss was actually there. Like
What?
Tanaka.
Huh?
Yeah, Tanaka Natsumi was actually in the thing because she was SKE, right? So
Yeah.
like she actually was there, like performing with them. And like as soon as she comes out, like my friend told me, like they played Melon Juice while Mikan was there, like boss.
Oh wow.
Masanya was dancing to Melon Juice, like, Melon Juice.
That's
So, like,
awesome.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah.
Nice.
One of the gentlemen who watch 48 talk pretty religiously and has also actually come to see us at our panel we did in the Netherlands, see Deutsche, he sent me a picture right before we started this, and it had Tani there. Tani was at the concert apparently, or she might have been at the Janken, one of the, but I think it was at Oya's concert, which would make sense, of course. But I did seem like they had a few people pop up, which is good. Is she a big loss to SKE or not?
I don't know. She was more of yeah, pretty much a mother, I would say, for SKE being her being a first gen and all. But big loss, I don't know actually. I'm not that into Masanya sadly, so I can't really talk. I don't know much about it, so.
Okay, right on. Josh, anybody?
For me, she was a very visual person. Like when you saw the group, she would kind of stick out. So I guess she had the appeal, and it helped. It would help SKE, especially if they're like in a lineup with the rest of the girls. But I don't know a lot about her, so.
My memory of her basically is this: is that I mean, don't get me wrong, she and go ahead, you actually, please, you go. I'll go last. Go ahead.
Masanyan has this aura of like Anin in SKE, like I'm like I'm here but I'm actually not here, like she's like that. But like being first gen and all, like she's basically like the Michan of like SKE, like I think she's like a background girl kind of thing. But like she's always super popular though, like she has like long lines like Jurina and the others, but like I don't think like they want her like in Senbatsu AKB, but like she's always been like the number 4, 5 girl in SKE. So I'm like, I don't know, cause like she has been like wanting to graduate for the longest time, ever since like 2012ish, I think. Like I felt that from her, so I'm like, okay. So,
yeah, about time then, I guess. Yeah. My impression of her, twofold. One, at the Tokyo Idol Festival, she made a surprise appearance at SK's set, and when she came out, the crowd was absolutely thunderous, and there a roar for her. She had a lot of love there, and I thought that was very cool. Also, when I went to the SK Handshake event, the last time I was in Japan, in Kawaton, she was set up right next to Kawaton's lane. I was in Kawaton's, very long line, and Oya's line was ridiculously long, and when I got up towards Kawaton, I had a clear view of Oya. She is one of the smallest girls I've ever seen, and she doesn't look small on the screen, but she was wearing like cutoffs, and her arms, I mean, they were as thin as pens. I mean, they were just so thin. I mean, again, when you see these girls in person, the one thing that's really going to hit you is how small and short they all actually are, despite their usage of wearing like high heels, which many of them do. But Oya, just tiny beyond words, but full of energy. She was so gracious with her fans, because I watched her so much with her fans, and just very loving to everybody in her lane. I don't know. I was very impressed just watching her. I really, for a moment, I was like, I should have got a handshake ticket with her, because she obviously she's not a Kawaton. She doesn't like hold your hand the whole time, won't let you go, like yell at you, but she's very gracious, and I thought that was very cool. Yeah, did you ever have a chance to meet her at DX? Did any of you?
No, sadly not.
Yeah, I didn't, like I said, I saw her the whole time I was in the lane for Kawaton, and I was just very impressed with her. Also, again, one thing you'd notice when you're in these lanes, and you, DX, yeah, you can attest, the girls are 10 times more striking than they are on camera. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. I got blown away pretty much every time I
away.
went, so yeah.
The very first girl that I met was Ave Maria, and she, I mean, she's already striking, but I mean, my God, in person, it's like you can't do, you freeze. You're
Yeah,
just thinking,
exactly. I'm pretty able to converse in Japanese, but I totally forgot everything. So I was like,
right? Yeah, you just totally dropped it. Yeah.
But how come when I go to Mako's lane, she's like, "Oh, what's up?"
Because she knows you, man.
She's like,
Because you got.
"Sup?"
yeah, wow.
Well, okay. When I met Mako, like she was so just in her own world. Like it was almost
Yeah.
like, oh, there's people in my lane. Oh, I didn't even know there were people coming. Like she literally almost made me feel like she wasn't there, like in her head. Like she does her own thing. She doesn't care. I love girls like her. She just did not care.
Yeah, compared to Ogi Yuka, though, she's like right in front of me, like 2
Right?
inches, like in your face, like. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
Both of like the extremes of the ends, like Mako's like this, and like Ogi Yuka's like right in front of you, like she's about to kiss you or something. I'm like, is this allowed? I jump on
Yeah, exactly. It's Chick events are really interesting in that regard. But I would say like Oya, she will be missed. I think overall, I think her absence will be felt over time. Maybe not right away, especially for the SKE fans such as myself. I will definitely miss her personally. Although I do agree she was more of a background figure. So, one last thing, and then we're going to jump into the Janken hardcore here because that's obviously going to capitalize a lot of the rest of the time we have, however long it takes. Something very interesting is going on with AKB and one of their teams. Team B currently has a little bit of a leadership problem. DX, you want to share and fill us in on what's going on?
Yeah, pretty much. Last week or the week before, in the week going towards this episode, Kisaki Yuria did her last performance with Team B, pretty much. And right now there isn't any captain or vice captain in Team B, so it's like, yeah, what's going on? Do we appoint a new leader? What's going on? I actually don't know what the direction is going to be for Team B. And right now it's more like who can actually fill in. And that was also a question from one of our fans, pretty much. Who should be the captain of Team B? And I've been taking a look at the list, and well, you got a couple of cannons, so they can't be a captain pretty much. So yeah, who can be a captain? Kashiwagi Yuki isn't around that much as well. Yeah, who could be? I would like to see Fukuoka Seina or Katorena take a chance at being a captain, but for the rest, or maybe even Miyu, but I don't see any captain material pretty much for the rest. So those are my choices pretty much: Miyu or Fukuoka Seina or Katorena.
Okay. Josh, what do you think? Who should be the captain, vice captain? Do you have any opinion or any idea?
Honestly, just do a shuffle and make all the teams mixed up and just bring a random captain.
That would be interesting. That would be good. I was so sure there'd be a shuffle announcement last night.
Just someone from 16 Gen or something, but everyone would hate me to say this. Nobody wants 16 Gen to separate. So.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly thought last night 16 Gen was going to go all the way, and they were going to just say, screw it, you guys are your own unit. Because that would have been a really cool trajectory for them. It would have been a very good way to keep them solid for a while. But that's another question is, are the 16 Gen ever going to get promoted?
Yeah.
So, that would be actually a good thing, Yayo. But I'm sorry, Josh. Did you have anybody particular in mind, or you just think a shuffle should be
just
overall?
general shuffle.
Okay.
Yayo, what are your thoughts?
For me, I think it's
Okay, hi now.
What the freak?
Wow.
Haven't had that happen in a while.
Yeah.
Wow, that's been a while since we've had a Yayo mom interruption. Anyways. Yayo's brain is fried.
Just
take a moment to recover. It's okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think, man?
I'm going with Nishikawa Rei for captain.
Nishikawa Rei.
Or Yamabe something. I forgot. Yamabe Ayu. Like the draftees. Like
Draftees. Wow.
or
Wow.
Moekyu, like those three, like draft,
Oh
like
yeah.
the drafts. Like just bring someone fresh, basically.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I I think if you look at the lineup, we have like Machieling, we have Fukuoka Sena, Takiuchi Miyu, Sakaguchi Nagisa, Gotomoe, Katorena, Yukirin, Yabuki Nako, and Watanabe Mayu, Tatsuya Makiho. I think I named everyone. But we have some cannons there. Yukirin and Nako are
Yeah.
cannons. There's really, to me, only two logical choices here. For me, one is Renachi. I think, put this girl in a leadership position, and she's going to do well. The other would be Fukuoka Sena. Seitan is a theater queen. She deserves this, and especially because she's going to be doing the day-to-day work of, a team, probably more than anyone. I don't know. To me, those are the only two real options because Takeuchi Miyu is doing her own thing. We want to talk about individuality. She's off doing her own covers and piano things. Mayu's leaving. Machieling is I think she has her own direction she's going. I don't know. I see her. She's getting a heck of a push, but I don't see her as a captain. Obviously the other girls, I don't know, Moekyun would be good. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be a cool trajectory for her. But the rest of them, I don't know. I feel like Seitan or Renachi would be the only two choices as far as I'm concerned. But again, who knows? Because it seems that we have a very interesting personnel situation going on overall with AKB. I mean, not just with this, but with what happened last night with the announcement that came and so on, which we'll get to. Just seems like AKB's AKS actually, they're dropping the ball, and they're not really stopping to think about things here. We're going to get into that, and I'm going to destroy them.
Oh,
But before I do, let's just jump into what I think the majority of this conversation for the rest of the time is going to be. The Janken. If you're sleeping under a rock and you're just joining the AKB fan club, AKB48 every year has a Janken tournament in which they crown one person, usually a winner of the paper rock scissors festivities. This year they decided to do something different and make units, although for a moment there I almost thought we were going to get a solo person again. This year's setup was very interesting, just even leading up to the Junkin. In fact, I almost think leading up was almost more interesting than the Junkin itself, just because of all the teams forming. We all had our favorite teams. Last night, many of us were on the chat channel talking, which to me was the most fun of the entire experience. That was more fun than the event itself, was just talking to all of you. And by the way, all three of you, thank you for being there.
yes.
I don't know. Here's the thing. There's so much to get into. Yeah. Thank you, Yayo. There's so much to get into. There's so much to talk about with this. But I think the overall thing I want to say, as far as this goes, is that with the Junkin, we actually did get a group that won. It was a group I didn't see coming. The winner was a group called Fairy Wink with a exclamation point for the I in Wink. I don't know why.
Discovering the keyboard.
Apparently, a lot of them did because there was definitely some like songs.
Yep.
Very very well put, Josh. But the winner was Fairy Wink. That was an HKT unit consisting of Aramaki Misaki and Unjo Hirona. They were in the finals with an NMB style team, Mirase Sai and Yagura Fuko. Futon, of course, we didn't see in the Sasenkyo. Here she kind of decided to come here. The winner gets a CD, and that gets released in December of this year, which is pretty fast considering they would have literally only like a month and a half to write a song and record it, or many songs. I don't even know. I mean, it's pretty fast to me as far as
pretty much
a little bit of time. But traditionally, Junkin singles come out in December. I don't know. Let me just start off and say, what are our thoughts about Fairy Wink winning and HKT winning, which is an interesting thing because HKT is the only group so far really hasn't won if you don't count NCT and Team 8 and STU, I guess. I mean, because they're all relatively new, but as far as the core groups, NMB, SK, AKB, they've all won. HKT was devoid. I don't know. Is this rigged? Is it not? For a moment I was like, this isn't rigged. Then I started thinking about, HKT hasn't won, and here they won. I don't know, but before I get into it, I have a lot of thoughts. I'm just gonna go down the line. DX, start with you. What are your thoughts
About the winner? Yeah, I
Winner,
think
yeah.
about the winner, I think I'm really happy for Aramaki Misaki because she's always been a bit on in the shadow of Nako and Miku. They're from the same gem, and Nakomiku always got the big pushes and such, and Mirun, Aramaki Misaki, has always been a bit behind on that. So I'm really happy she gets her own chance to shine right now with a partner. So I'm really happy. About the event itself, it felt so rushed. I was like, it was if you compare it to last year was a bit more spaced out, I would say, but maybe it was because of the individual participation. But right, this year it was like, boom, block A done, boom, block B done, boom, block C done, boom, block D done. It's like, do we need to go that fast? And all the entrances were all cut short and such, and it's like the whole event. Yeah, the whole event. It was so rushed, but I really like the winner though. Sadly, the Kokeshi sisters or the 16 Gen didn't win, but oh well, can't be helped.
Everybody that I liked basically did not win, so I think I definitely cursed everybody I was rooting for. All right, Josh, what are your thoughts on the winner? And overall, I guess.
Well, the winner, HKT, as you guys said, is the first time for HKT to win, and this is actually my first time actually watching a Janken. So. Cool. It was interesting to see how it all works, and I did feel like it was rushed a bit, especially in the beginning. They needed all that space just to pronounce that super long name, which they did like 4 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was rooting for different people, but then as soon as Derek said it, I was like, all right, they're not going to win. Whenever Derek says they're going to win, they lose.
I remember Flores saying, say who's going to win, so they lose pretty much. So, yeah.
I cursed everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going for Kitaria at the final 4, just because I wanted her to be like sent off with something good like this, and especially with Oya, and like the whole group in general, I feel like deserves something like this. They worked so much, and this would have been great for them to have like their own single.
All right, very good. Yayo?
I'm going by blocks here because it was amazing by blocks.
Oh, please go ahead.
The fans were super into it, like especially in block A, like the panda.
Oh man, pandas! I'm gonna have nightmares about that one.
There's literally a cult of pandas in block A. Like as soon as Shirokoto no, like her name, Shirokoto, because they keep saying Kotono in the Janken Tournament. So like there's like the panda group there. It's like they're just like with panda face mask, and they're like, woo!
Man, it felt like the Wyatt family, man. Jeez, so creepy. What the heck?
The panda cult is just amazing in Block A.
It was so creepy. What the heck?
Yeah, but like as soon as Block A, like when it was starting though, I'm like, so it's only gonna be for 3 hours. So how are they gonna do the long intros? Like as soon as the intros were hitting, I'm like, why is everyone just coming out now? It's like, this kills like the long walk thing like the people usually do. Like they basically killed the what they call that, the AKB Janken hype thing.
Yeah.
It's like every year it's like, oh, but now everyone's like, I'm like, what? I think it's probably because the like Nagoya Hall is actually small, and like they can't book the domes because the baseball season or something. Because I read that somewhere. So
okay, right on. And then go on. What about B block, C block, D block?
B block, like you guys were rooting for the next gen and Nico Ichi. I'm like, please lose, please lose. Everyone was like, why are you saying no to the future? I'm like, yeah, no, not yet.
Oh wow. I remember that, yeah. Oh man.
I'm like, yes! Woo! They lost!
Oh man.
And in B block, B block is like the championship thing, because Periwink is actually here because I have the list up right now.
Okay, right on.
Okay.
I was so sad like the Ho Masako lost, because like they have like the whole nickname has like Yokoshima Airi in it, like which is my Oshi that graduated. So I'm like, you can't carry on the will of Irie. So that's why I kept saying like, Phoenix, Phoenix, go Phoenix. So yeah, and like C Block was actually amazing because of Shashi's group.
Oh yeah.
The whole fight, I'm like as soon as they won against Tori, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's his face? Like Kashiwagi said it. It's like, this is power harassment. Why are we winning this?
Oh, they always had the nice shots of Kazuagi's goods, shall we say? Yeah.
Yeah, and even in C Block, the announcer is just way too amazing, like the 1010, because like he had to say it like at least 3 times, like that long name.
Yeah.
And like without even faltering at all. It's like like he's stopping like randomly though, but like he didn't falter at all, like because it was super long. C Block is just amazing. Like Hantane, like they like I wanted them to lose. So I'm like, sorry guys, like I wanted Hantane to lose.
It was fun though watching though. They certainly had a lot of people behind them, but yeah, they were out pretty,
Yeah,
easily.
like B and AB and Block, like the commentator Jury, like Jury was just amazing. It's like she's gonna say something and like she can't back it up like randomly, random words, and like like this. So what do you think? It's like I don't have any facts to basically prove that what I said right now. That's basically what Jury was doing. And like on C Block, yeah, Nachan comes out I think around that. And like in D Block, yeah, D Block was pretty weird too. What was in C Block? The whole 6th gen of SKE is there. The panda, like the what's his name? Himacho Panda.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh my god, if they lose in this round, ATC might shut down.
Yeah.
The entire stream. I'm like, oh my god, Machorin go win.
Yeah.
That was the funny part. And like the thing too with Ria's group, it's like, Kiss no Tempura. Like everyone was cheering for the whole 6th gen of SKA because of the Nagoya home field advantage.
Yeah.
I guess. But like everyone was cheering for the 6th gen of SKE, and like when Kiss no Tempura was like, yeah, we're here. It's like, boo!
Oh wow.
Booing?
No,
Oh.
it was not a boo. It's like kind of like a small cheer against the SKE team,
Yeah, I
kind
heard.
of thing. Yeah. But yeah, that was amazing though. Like the whole thing, even like Sei Uchi's team, like Nachan's like, Gambare, Sei Uchi.
Yeah, it was overall was it was I don't know, that was very, very, very well done there, yeah, as far as like going through them. Basically, so just to kind of give a little bit of background as well as to talk about all this, you were mentioning like Takashi Juri was there. They had some announcers there that every year they have some guest announcers, and this year they had Takashi Juri for some of the Junkin, and then she left, and then Nachan, she came in and then did her whole Majime thing, and which it was fun. It was fun to have them there. I was happy to see them there. So kind of felt like having old friends there, just watching the show with us. At the same time, the overall impression, and Robin said it best too, because like he came home and watched it. It was flat. I had fun watching because of you guys, because we all I was just going crazy with my comments. We were all enjoying it. But when you take a step back and you look at the actual event itself, there was a lot of issues with it. Number one, no cosplaying, really. I mean, very much the biggest joy besides who wins the thing and is the cosplaying. And they basically got rid of it. I mean, some of the girls, they dressed up and everything. Yeah, Caltown was amazing.
Yeah.
Churi, committing.
Santaro, yeah. Churi go like this.
Yeah. Yeah, when they lost. and they fitted Harachuri. I love my pun there. I have to say it. Harachuri. Thank you, Jarina. I would say like it was overall very disappointing because again, AKB's girls have a chance for individuality, and that is a very easy way to be an individual. Come out in your own weird, crazy costume. Or lack of costume if you got the body, like some of these girls have done in recent years, and boom, they just took it away, and you had groups have the same costumes. So go ahead, Yayo.
I think that's why they got rid of the cosplay, because I think they're going for like the costume of their group. I think, like whatever they're, yeah. So
I mean, yeah, that obviously, but to me. Who's the biggest costume you're gonna remember pretty much from that entire group? I mean,
like Santaro, Sankons, Kiss no Tempura, because they literally like stand out. Like those top three costumes like stand out. Like because they were displaying, they're like wearing rock clothes and like very sexy outfits and stuff. So
right, but overall. The one that to me, like you're not gonna forget. You're gonna forget the girl with all the freaking balloons. I mean, she stood out to me. I mean, you could not see her. And,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my point. Is like the girl that did do the individual thing, you're gonna remember more than all those girls that kind of just basically look like theater outfits. Go ahead, Yayo.
I'm just saying, I remember Shirai Kotone now because of her cult. The panda.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and then on top of that, she had a cult with her. I mean, like all the panda mouse. I mean, that was some crazy, freaky stuff there. But still, it was cool because again, individuality. That's what individuality does to fans. It inspires you to wear a whole army of masks of pandas because that was her whole theme. So can you imagine if every one of those girls did it? And I don't really see why they couldn't have did it. And it would have been fun to have them all come out individual. Yes, it would have taken a while, but who cares? That's part of the fun. I mean, I really was kind of shocked. And that I think when we all realized when A Block came out, that's exactly what was happening. I think we all were like, really? Like we all, like it just deflated. The entire chat room just deflated that second that happened. So right there was like, this isn't foreboding well. Another thing is, nothing against Tajiri. I think he's a great, person as far as variety. He certainly has helped AKB enormously with his comic approach, his variety stuff. I just have never liked him as the Janken referee. The dude they had for the first couple years was freaking amazing. Because his voice like Janken, and it's like you felt it, man. And it's just like Janken, and it's like his voice just doesn't match it. And like I mean that's something I'm hoping they were gonna fix, but it's okay because I mean Jiri's still cool. The hosts for Nemosu were there, right? I mean they were the ones.
Ogiagi.
I don't know. Did we like them or not?
Did they do anything?
Sorry?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. They were trolling some of the girls a little bit, but other than that. They took a lot of screen time, and I don't really know if that was a good thing because traditionally you give the screen time to the girls, and they substituted that for Nemosu. Go ahead, Yayo.
I'm just saying the girls, like when we're talking about screen time, we're talking about Katomina's group because they literally took 30 minutes of their.
Definitely gonna get to that. Out of respect, the announcer, I thought that was incredible that he, they could get that name right, but they couldn't get Fairy right at the end. Go figure.
No, it was the Oyahagi group though.
I know. I'm just saying. But here's the thing. The white lady that's there every year, and she does the crazy rolls of the tongue and stuff. I mean, she wasn't there. Although I kind of feel she wasn't there because of Katamina's group. Because she was like, "There's no way I can do this name." That's probably it. But no, it's just there were certain elements that have made the Janken so memorable every year that weren't there this year. Now, granted, the new format it was very fast. I didn't particularly have a problem with that, but I also thought the group thing just sort of, as I kept seeing it play out, was kind of silly. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that the reward was a subunit. That was cool, very cool. But all the girls just kind of were just there. They didn't have, again, their individuality. Some of the girls obviously when they went up to the table to do the actual Junkin, their groups were behind. They were touching the girls. They were giving them strength. They were trying to stand out, but they didn't. I mean, Kaotan's a good example of somebody who could stand out in that situation because she was there with her axe. Minarun was there with her seriousness. I mean, those girls stood up despite Churi being the one to to actually go up and do it. But it was like, again, not standing out. And I think I'm hoping next year they go back. They go old school with this because I think that's part of the fun. I didn't realize how much I love this was the cosplay, and it just wasn't there. The individuality, the expressions. Although there was some individual expression highlights. Yui-han. Oh yeah. My god.
Oh boy. Yeah. If it looks good, kill. If it looks good, kill, man. Oh.
Oh my god! It was amazing to watch Yui-han just transform from the usual very humble Sokan Toku to beast mode.
Yeah.
Unfortunately she didn't.
Oh.
But it was, I mean, right there again, you remember that. You see what I'm saying? I love that. I love the fact that happened. Fairy Wink winning, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing overall, because here's the thing, Aramaki Misaki, the thing I remember the most about her, besides her little chocolate chip mold she has, it's like she was so quiet during the SKE variety shows to the point where when she was called upon, she'd even cry. And I don't know if she has grown as much. When I think about her, I also think about Kitagawa Ryoha and how she was kind of had the same feel in early SKE, and then over time, I mean, real time, she's grown into this beast. Again, beast mode for her. She is in it, and she is just awesome. But she started off this quiet little thing. Iramaki, I don't know if she's really grown from that. Does anybody have an opinion on that or think anything different there? Because I didn't see a difference.
The main thing I remember from Aramaki Misaki was during the Odakake era as being someone who was ridiculously strong, as in strength-wise. I remember from one of the past episodes her just lifting a real big cluster of oysters from the water. Those things were 5 kilo each, and she just lifted it with ease, pretty much. So she is ridiculously strong for a girl, and that's why she stands out. But yeah, her only downside is she is way too shy, and I don't know if she has worked on that, because it's been a while since Odakake has been stopped airing, so I don't know much more about Aramaki Misaki, sadly. So, but she was always the quiet, strong girl. So yeah.
Right. It's nice to have a girl who you don't expect to win the Junkin. In the past couple years, that's exactly what happened. And again, I can't say anything until we actually see what the Junkin, what comes out of this as far as music goes. But I'm concerned. I don't. Can she even sing? I mean, is she one of those members that just is kind of eye candy member or whatever member? Because it's I don't think. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be all Unjo Hirono on this. I don't know. But it's just, I'm very curious what the song's going to be. I was thinking about it last night, what song could they put out? I was thinking if they did a trance song and they auto-tuned their voice and made it real ethereal, that'd be cool. It can be finally forced to the ambient world, But
that could be.
Yeah.
I actually heard her say, it's I want a song that I want a song that me not smiling. So I'm she literally said, I want a song like Sakamichi series when they don't smile at all. That's what she said. During the interview as soon as she won. Josh actually asked me that. It's what did Aramaki Misaki said just now? So as soon as I want a song like the Sakamichi series when they don't go smiling. They want serious song. I'm ooh.
Oh wow.
With a freaking fairy outfit. I'm
that's the thing. I'm hoping they pull a Sakamichi there. I hope that they could do something a lot more serious. That would be cool. I guess that'd fit the quiet personality. Josh, can you see them pulling off a Kea?
A Kea?
Yeah.
Even very cautious. That'd be cool.
Dark fairies.
Dark fairies.
speaking of fairies, like it was very interesting for a while there. Like I was thinking, like, boy, these groups, it's gonna be like the coupling side. It's gonna be like the whole days were like what fairies, pandas,
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
cherries, fairy pandas, cherries. Like it. Just,
Wait,
I
let me
mean,
see the other one.
it was just crazy. Like just overall, like you know, the like just it was gonna be like this is gonna be like the cutest single in history probably. It's just it's
Yeah.
gonna be so adorable, probably. I don't know, but I don't know because they're like a smile, so who knows?
So,
Go ahead.
It's pandas, fairies, ice cream, and tempura.
Oh yeah.
It's cute versus food. Yeah.
I mean, just put that in a long string in a sentence and just imagine. I mean, it's you're just thinking, wow, what is the CD cover gonna look like?
Pandas, fairies, ice cream, and tempura.
A panda holding like a panda bear holding ice cream in one hand, tempura in the other. You
And
know,
a fairy costume
with
at
fairy.
the back.
Like, I'm gonna be like, who was taking acid when they made that? I actually think AKS has dropped some acid because it was just overall just so off kilter the whole night in that sense. I will say this: I was happy for Richan. I thought for a moment they were actually going to win the whole thing. But like I said in the chat, and I'll say it again. Kitarie, Oya, Shizuka, and Miyazaki Miho, you know, always so close yet so far away.
Yep.
Story of their entire careers in AKB. Go ahead, Yayo.
I'm just they were interviewing Kiss Tempura. Oh yeah, wait, I'll just go with the chat log first. Like, they're gonna have Meow sing without the auto tune in like a solo part. Like I was waiting for it. Like as soon as they win, I'm like, they don't have auto tune of Meow. Like yes, I can see Zone again. Like they were talking about Zone in chat too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like that really high up tune voice of hers. Like yeah, that's the
Bring
first
Sone
part.
out.
And
Yeah.
the tempura part. And like the second part is it's like, so Meow, why did you do anything? Like Oyahagi was saying, like, why did you do anything? It's like, I was the final weapon of this group because I always had bad luck in these games.
Yeah.
She said.
Well, here's the thing though, with Ryuchan and them, you know, going this far, it was very nice. For a moment, I thought Michan and Sashi and Yukirin were gonna go. They had a lot of momentum, and they were like one win away almost from being in the finals. So you know, it'd have been nice. Yukirin especially, she was just banging hot last night. My Kamiozu just destroyed everybody. But then again, you know, I was hoping Katamina's group would have went, you know, because of the name alone would have been hysterical. And then also Katamina being the genius that she is, that got her a lot of screen time. And I don't know, that also though kind of upset me because it was like that's what these girls are having to resort to now is tactics like that in order to get on screen because no one can seem to get on screen except whoever AKS decides to push. I think overall, you know, it wasn't the greatest Janken. It was fun because I had a blast talking to all of you. It was really cool in the sense that this is the first time since I've watched any live stream that not once did the live stream break. Didn't have to leave Nico once off that, but it also there wasn't that many people watching. That kind of made me a bit concerned because I was thinking, wow, there's really nobody in here watching, which that was interesting. And the fans too, they were going crazy in Nagoya Hall. They certainly were, but they were definitely going crazy for mostly SKE, which I guess that makes sense. But I guess overall, again, when you think of AKB Junkin, you think of all like the funny camera shots of girls sitting around and like hanging around and like joking, or you know everybody's kind of getting into it, and there's like rivalries between rivalries, and it didn't feel that way this time. It was very much absent, and then also lack of star power. There was a lot of girls that simply just weren't here that you wanted to be here. You know, a lot of the big names in AKB48 overall just weren't here today or last night. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, though. I'm all for letting the the unknowns get screen time because again, it's kind of the whole problem is they don't. But I just felt like it would have felt a little bit nicer to have some bigger names there, even if for no other reason to make surprise appearances. And that was another thing. How much fun every year is it when girls come out and they got famous people with them and that you don't expect, or they have other members that didn't make it that are there for support. Look at Kochi Haru the one year with Nogi. She brought out Nogizaka with her.
Yeah.
I mean, every year there was all these crazy surprises. You didn't know what to expect. It made Junkin so much fun. This year it was like, oh, here's the teams. They're all wearing the same outfits. Enjoy, and that's it. Literally, there was nothing else to it. The only other thing I'll say about this that was kind of a good highlight, the beginning was fun. The concert was cool. I thought that the songs were great. I liked they had played Chance no Juban.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that was fun. That was nice. It would have been nicer if Uchida came out and reprised her role as the original Junkin Queen. They broke from tradition, didn't they? And they didn't play the Junkin song from last year.
Nope, they didn't. They didn't.
That was a surprise. Also a surprise to see Fujita Nana make an exit so quick with her team. I really thought they might have gone far. I don't know. Overall, I would say not my favorite Junkin. It was my favorite chatting, but definitely not my favorite Junkin. It just kind of fell a lot shorter than what it should have, and I think it kind of the problem is that AKS is failing at a very old adage, and the adage is simple: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't really know they need to fix anything this time. They could have easily had another just solo unit win, and then that girl could have picked members to have her own subunit. That would have been fine too. I mean, if Renachi can create her own Sosenkyo and actually make it a big thing, why couldn't they just do kind of the same thing here? That's my question. And also, for anybody who's watching, give us your thoughts overall. Give us your thoughts on all the matches. Again, we're not going to go into all the matches. I will say this. There was a few that were really fun. I thought Yui Han's was fun. Machirin's was great. Anytime she was up there was good. Obviously, Sashi and her group made it so much fun. Ria-chan's group made it fun. 16 Gen made a very quick exit, unfortunately. I thought that would have been fun to see them. And SK6 Gen, it was awesome to see the reactions. They were so happy, even with just one win. They were in tears. And the hype for the crowd kept them going. It was a crowd. They had crowd power, definitely. But in the end, it was a very shy and wonderful girl who won with her group. And congratulations to Aramaki, and congratulations overall to HKT. Happy for your win. One thing I'm not happy about, though, is the announcement. Anybody care to share what that announcement was?
Oh boy. The third generation draft Kaigi. Oh boy.
What the hell? Okay. First of all, give us some details, please.
Well, pretty much they're going to be holding on. They're going to be doing another draft Kaigi. With this time around, the fans get to choose who are the new draft Kenkyusei are going to be, pretty much. And they still have the second gen draft Kenkyusei, and they haven't even been promoted yet. And they're going to do a third. I was like, what the heck? What are you doing? And yeah, I just needed to walk outside after that announcement, pretty much. So yeah, I was a bit pissed. So yeah.
Does someone want to explain for the new people watching what a draft includes, or what is it?
Yes, please, somebody. Yayo?
Yeah.
Wait. Now coughs. Okay. Basically, the drafts is it's basically like a baseball draft in Japan. So it goes like you choose one member on that thing. Like there's a list of like at least 20 people at least. So like during the 20 people, each team picks a member they want. So like kind of like AKB, like AKB. So AKB picks this girl, and she gets it, right? But if the same team wants her, this is basically the first two gens. Okay, I'm telling about the first two generations of the drafts.
Yeah.
This is the intro. So like 20 people, right? So each group has their teams, right? SKE or something, right?
Yeah.
So if like they want the member, they like, oh, I want her. They just write it on the paper, and like there's this like a butler guy thing, because like that's literally Japanese baseball draft. Like there's this guy who walks around, takes a card, and like says it to the board. Like basically, it's a weird system actually. Unlike the NFL drafts, they just say whoever they want. But in in the draft kaigi, the first two gens, like each team comes in the table and like they have like their own battle stations basically every single one of the teams. So like they have like the flag. If you actually follow AKB Daily, like that flag is actually like the team flags of each teams, and which was amazing actually. I like that. But like yeah, moving on. Like if you choose the same member, like you have to go to the face of like whoever draws like a gold card or something gets that member. Basically Riripons. If you I'm saying to you guys, Riripon was actually the most popular member on all of the drafts. Like
Look what happened there.
like literally 7 teams chose her. Like every single one of the teams. Like as soon as like they went like, oh Riripon, we want Riripon. Sorry, I just even Saya, like Riripon and Saya were like the two main teams. Like as soon as like with Riripon though, Sayane's team end, right? So as soon as Sayane said, I want Riripon, like she literally ended. Because like as soon as there's also this rule that they implemented, like if you want, like you could literally end anytime you want, kind of thing. So if you get the member you wanted, you could literally just say, I'm out, I don't want this anymore, basically. That's basically what happened with N. So I can't really explain anymore. It's basically
it's fine. So basically, and thank you, Yayo. So here's the thing. Basically, you know, we're talking about new blood. We're talking about new members joining the fray. You know, being part of the discussion in AKB. But here's the problem, and this is why I'm going to absolutely rip AKB now. First of all, we already have enough members, okay? No offense, you could skip a freaking year. We don't need more new members. What you have are members that are just sitting there not getting any support. Now you've taken away yet another chance for members to shine and really become their own person via the Janken. Janken has introduced me, has introduced many fans to girls we didn't even know existed, but because these girls have chosen something very clever for their costumes, or they've done something to stand out during the Janken, or heck, they've just gone far in the Janken, we know who they are. And because now you've taken that away and you've made it more about a group thing, we're not seeing that, okay? So with the draft, okay, you have to appreciate this too. When it was announced last night, they were showing on the big screen the frickin' Tokyo Dome, and they were showing that, and I'm like, oh my god, are they finally going back to the dome? Like, I start getting goosebumps. Like, I'm thinking, I'm flying to Japan, I don't care what the day is, I'm there. And yeah, no, it was, and then they just blah 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 blah. Let's do a third draft because we need more members. The fan thing, okay, kind of cool, but kind of not, because now you're basically creating a Sasenkyo Part 2. You're doing a Sasenkyo for members that aren't even in freaking AKB. Okay, the members that are in AKB that don't even get a chance to be in the Sasenkyo, what about them? What about the girls that you have that are all full of raw, amazing talent that have beat out everybody already to just even be part of AKB? What are you doing about them? They're just sitting there. If you look at the final results of the draft, okay, you're looking at like, what's that?
What the heck?
What was that?
Okay, so anyways, so if you look at the finals for the draft, you're looking at Hibatashi Yui, you know, girls like Maria from HKT. You're looking
Ogiyuka.
Ogi's the big one. You're seeing Chiba for like Team 4. I'm just kind of picking out some people, but here's the thing: you have some very, very huge people. Vivian, I think, was even there. And these girls have excelled, but you also have a lot of girls that don't. Anybody know who Yasuda Momone is, or Ando Erina, or you know Hangao Yuzula? No, because you don't know who these people are because they don't have a chance to stand out really, unless you are one of the AKB fans that sees every single thing that AKB puts out and just follows every Twitter and every showroom, then you might know. But if you're not that person and you are just like most of us, we watch what we can when we can, again, you just don't see it. This is the big problem with AKB, and this, again, I you know, we harp on AKB a lot because we've been fans forever. We want to see AKB do good, so this is all coming from a good place, trust me when I say this. But this needs to stop. I mean, this really needs to stop. Like, you have to really look at what you have and take that and make them excel. Otherwise, guess what we're going to see in the next, like, 6 months? Graduation after graduation after graduation of girls that didn't even have a chance to breathe in AKB. I think the third draft's a terrible idea. It was also another deflating point of the Janken. I mean, they could have, again, get back to what AKB is. Do some shows, some concerts. Show us that AKB is going on a huge tour or something. Give us a chance to actually like them for the music that they're creating. No, none of that. We're gonna add more girls to the group that we don't need because hey, we can't even get the sister groups internationally going. I mean, how long has it been now since all these sister groups are? Taipei's doesn't exist, people. I'm sorry. SCU still doesn't have a vote. Bangkok 48, they're the only one that seems to be doing anything, but even them, kind of stagnant. And Manila 48, don't even get me started on that because they're
yeah, no.
I mean, this is what happens when you don't pay attention to a group. They start listening to K-pop, and then they become K-pop artists while we're not even looking. And, Jakarta 48, when was the last time we heard anything about them? I mean, you already have so many groups that need attention, and you're going to take more girls and throw them in. Can we say 16th Gen too? I mean, are they ever going to get promoted? Why isn't there a shuffle? Why aren't they just taking girls and saying, okay, we're going to put this draft member from the second draft into, a Team B position. Let's make her captain. Let's screw out. Let's surprise us all. Where is Akipi in all this? That's what I want to know. Does he even have a say? Who is at the helm here, and why are they making these terrible decisions? Because it's not just been one; it's been boom, 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 boom. The Sasenkyo was a disaster. The Janken Tournament fell flat for no good reason. I mean, what is going on? Like literally, I'm just my mind is blown. The third draft kind of was the only major downfall for me last night that kind of really pissed me off. I don't know. I think AKB needs to have a serious reality check, and I think they need to step back and realize that at the end of the day, we already have girls that we can love. I mean, Ogi is a good example of somebody that came out of the draft and surprised us all, and I love this girl now, and all it took was her to stand out, and she did. And you have all these girls that have a chance to stand out, and you're not giving them that chance. That's a problem. Because I don't want to see turnovers. I don't want to see a girl I never heard of say she graduates, and then in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I wonder what she could have been in AKB. I wonder what she could have given me. What could given all of us, Like Ogi, thank God, didn't, because she would have been a major loss if that would have happened. You see my point, guys?
Yep, definitely.
I don't know. Does anybody have any comments on this other than that? Because I'm blown away by the lack of understanding of this wonderful creation you have in AKB via AKS's mismanagement here. I think it's a huge mistake.
I think AKB has been a bit stagnant, I would say, this couple of past months. I mean, nothing new, no innovation, nothing pretty much. It's only the members like Nogizaka that are doing their own thing with the whole YouTube and the whole Tokyo visiting guide and such, but for the rest, the unknown members, thank God we all love 16 Gen, but they're stagnant because they don't get promoted, so they can't further develop themselves pretty much because they're stuck in the Kenkyusei phase with all the D members pretty much. So AKB48, it's been really stagnant the last couple of months, and also with the Watanabe Mayu last single. Look at that Senbatsu, it's more like it's been dominating by sister group members instead of AKB members, and I have to think Mayu is really pissed off about that one because I still have a feeling she didn't have any invoice or influence on the Senbatsu for that song as well. So I don't know what they're doing at management, but man, they really need to stop because it's really pissing me off right now. So that's a good example too of what I'm talking about. You're gonna give Watanabe Mayu her last single, which is very cool. You're gonna give her a huge send off, which she deserves. And you're going to fill her last single with members that she probably, I don't even think was even close to? Huh? Exactly.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And on top of that, the discussion in AKB48 has been largely now based on all sister groups. NGT has been crushing it. NMB, Fuchan making it to the finals, that's huge. Or, I really was happy in that sense. I mean, she's so strong, but this is a girl who skipped out on Sasenkyo because she was afraid her skin was going to get screwed up, and then it turned out after all she didn't have to skip, and she's just had some weirdness surrounding her overall. Well, NMB in general has just been a sinking ship and a half there for a while, but it's like you have star power. why aren't you using it? And why aren't you using it in the correct places? And again, the second draft members, there's so many great names there that, like, thankfully some have stood out. But overall, I didn't even know half these girls. And so I started looking this morning at them, and I'm thinking, I don't even know who these girls are. Why don't I know? Oh, wait, because they don't get any chance at all to shine. And now you're going to get more girls in there to not shine. And I don't know if AKS's thinking is, we need to keep finding the next talent. We have to have the next Achan. Watanabe Mayu's graduating. Sashi's going to leave. Sayane any day now is going to announce she's done with the group. Like, we got to get somebody new. No, you don't. You have amazing girls that can rise up and be. I mean, Ogi is a good example of somebody who went from 0 to hero in about 3.5 seconds.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
It's just, all you have to do is get something behind it that makes sense. The fans put Ogi, I think, in that position. I don't know. Maybe you can test that or not. But yeah. I would say if it was a fan thing, that's what I'm talking about. If you really want to listen to the fans, don't listen to them for a third draft. Why don't you listen to them for what you need to do now with the girls you have? Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I don't mean to rant. I really thought about it, and that was the one thing that upset me more than anything. And it kind of was like the thing that really, like, put me over the edge here is you can't deny these girls. I mean, Nozel Reina. This is a girl who has done everything she can to stand out, who is a wonderful member, who has taken her initiative. Give this girl a chance. Why? I mean, pay attention. This girl is literally screaming for you to pay attention to her, and you're not. You see my point? Like, it's like, it's just, I need to go over there and slap some faces of AKS.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I've been wanting to do that for a while now, actually, so yeah.
I plan on it, too, when I move to Japan. I plan on literally marching in and having a real discussion with them and telling them they need to have me as a manager for 3 months. I will make AKB ridiculous in 3 months. I will turn it all around. And you know why? Because it's very obvious what you need to do. It's a no-brainer. It really isn't. And why they can't see it, anyways, that's my rant. Sorry, guys.
What I think about that is maybe they are looking for, like, the next Ogi Yuka, since that was part of the second draft. Maybe they're going for third draft. They're like, maybe we could get another like star under our belt. Yeah,
an Ogi rival. They're thinking 2 years, 3 years ahead now. Who can rival Ogi? She's obviously going to be the next big thing. And now they need another rival. But you know what I say, Josh? Need to have a real rival happen. You know what I'm talking about. Kea versus AKB rival. I'm telling you, it'd be amazing to put any of those girls and just bring them in. Now, see, that's what I mean. In my 3 months as management, that's one of my very first things I would do is merge the groups and make them all go crazy there and put Techi in and, like, kind of, switch it out. You know what? I'd even have Techi go transfer for a bit. That would shock everyone.
Just change them everything. Just mess with everyone's heads.
Wow.
like a captain of, like, Team B or something. Like, Techi she would own it, man.
Just mix around the popular members everywhere.
Yeah, why not? Let's have fun. I mean, this is actually a case where I'm actually wanting a shuffle. I actually think, screw it, let's have a shuffle. We need it. We need something to really reorganize, restructure. Third draft is not it. We don't need more girls. We need to take the girls we have and put them in the right places where their abilities and skills and talents can be used accordingly. And, let's go from there. Although I will say this, the Janken did provide us, not just one subunit, but technically three more. I mean, the coupling songs, if they do stand out, it could be the start of something. I'd love to see Ria-chan's group, even though she's graduating. I'd love to see that take something of a life of its own. Sone had a life of its own. It was cool. And it could certainly happen. But we'll see. I'm not really sure if that's going to happen or not. But I do think, again, anybody listening wants to comment, feel free. I love AKB48. I know we all love AKB48, but honestly, sometimes it's like when you have a child or something and they keep getting bad grades on tests that you studied for with them, and then it's like, what are you doing? We studied for weeks and weeks. You know this stuff. How did you fail? Your mind's blown. You don't understand it, and that's kind of where I'm at right now with AKB is third drafts, really?
Yeah.
I think they might be too focused on, like, the details of stuff instead of looking at the big picture of everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfectly put, Josh. It's you got to look at the bigger picture here, and the bigger picture is AKB has been around over 10 years now. And you have to obviously inject new life into a musical group that's been around 10 years. Very few groups last longer than a few years musically. It doesn't matter their member size or not. Most groups do get stagnant. That's inevitable. That happens. There are ups and downs to anything. But AKB, they really are the masters of their own future. You know, they really are the masters of their own destiny. I don't think history they need to be part of in that sense and follow history rules there. They are still innovative. There's still something new and fresh about them. Every time, like last night when they started in the concert, I was practically in tears. I was so happy. They still give me that happiness. When I was at Japan and I saw them live several times, that joy you cannot put into words. You know, you cannot really understand it until you're there. When you're shaking hands with members, how incredible the feeling that is. And that's never going to go away. And all these years, the reason why AKB's been around is because those things don't go around. Look at the core. Look at what makes AKB so great and really capitalize on that. I don't think anyone would complain. Yeah? So
Exactly.
big picture is what we're talking about. Again, don't mean to harp so much on AKB because, you know, it's just from an international fan perspective, it's very obvious what you need to do. Less members. You're not necessarily less members. Focus on the members you have. Come up with a innovative and creative way to showcase these members. Janken was certainly one way. Guess they forgot about that. Again, obvious. And really make them stand out, and you will return AKB to its glory. And it wouldn't hurt too if you had really great songs too. You can hire some people to write. My vote is the guitar player for Yanakoto Sotomuto. Just saying that. Get that guy. Let him write some songs. It'll be the greatest album ever. Anyways, end rant. I'm done. Yo, go ahead.
I think with Shuffle, I think they're gonna go with the concert, like not the live ones, because this is basically a free stream right now. So
That's true.
I think
Music in my ears.
Yeah.
like either the Mayuyu or like the Kanshasai, you know, like the
That would be interesting.
like the
So-
unranked members. I think they're gonna announce it on because I think there's 3 concerts going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Like just the Senbatsu, then the ranked members, then the unranked members. So I think they're gonna do it on the unranked members. So like either one of them, because it's all the same day but like different areas. I think. So I think they're gonna do it on the unranked concert. You know, that would be funny. It's like Shashi would be like, "Oh, you're back in AKB." She's gonna be like, "What?"
Wow.
It could be like, no.
It would be funny if they actually do it on the unranked members concert, not the Senbatsu concert. You know,
Jeez.
people would be like, I wish I was in the unranked member concert, not the freaking Senbatsu concert. Right? Like,
Right?
That would
No,
that would actually make it more hype to go on the unranked member concert the next year than the actual concert. I'm like, see, I'm actually thinking marketing right here.
See how easy that was? See how easy that was? If you just take a step back and look at big picture, like Josh said, you can see that. And that would be great. I mean, if you put Sashi, Yukaren, and Michan in a group, Team Scandal, Team whatever, it would be amazing to, like,
Wow.
you know, just see them all together again. Like you know, bring us back to what we remember. You know, you can organize it so well. You know, and 16 Gen, put them in the right place or make them their own group. Make a Team G. I think one of you guys were saying, like, we need a Team G or something.
Yeah, for NGT, like Team G.
Yeah, why not? Make them all NGT. I'd be okay with that. Go ahead, yeah. What were you gonna say?
I think too, like with the more senpai members, because like I was discussing this in Unko before, like when they pretty much tag Team K, like they literally killed off Mako's aura with it. So like, cause like basically the big 3 names is like basically the ace of the 3 groups. But when you were telling about the Sashi, Michan, and Yukaren, like those 3 could just literally just stand in the back and still have auras, and like while another person gets pushed. So like it's totally different than like the senpai members, because like the competition in Team K was super intense then. Like that's why Mako's aura went down. And like when they put Mion in, they literally just want Mion there all the time. But like, because with Yuko graduating, they freaking stacked Harupi, Jurina, and Sayane. Like all 3 of them. I'm like, these 3 people are basically your top members of each group. So how the hell is Mako gonna compete in this thing? So those were the dark days. I'm like, oh my god, I'm a Mako fan, but I don't see Mako in Team K at all. I'm like, oh god dang it!
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's very well put, Yayo, and I guess I'll kind of maybe sort of close up our show on this point that anybody has ideas, suggestions for improving AKB, bring them up, and also understand that again, it's easy to do this also, in fairness to AKS, from the position of not having to pay the checks, sign the checks and pay the bills. Maybe there's a monetary reason behind all this. There's a lot of promotion and sponsorships that go into things that AKB does these days. I get that. That's business 101. That's not a problem. But I still think innovation can be here. AKB itself is a massive innovation when it comes to just the idol industry in general. They've certainly contributed to the idol world in a way no one has ever done. And I think they just need to continue with that same spirit of creativity, both in the music they make and the girls that they have, and allowing them to shine. It's not that hard. I really don't think it's that hard. And I think if they just sit back and really think about what needs to be done, you need to go international, number one. I mean, bring the girls over to other states, other countries. I know it's going to cost some money, and I know the visa process is absolutely ridiculous, but make it happen. Pull some strings. You have billions of dollars in your coffers. Let's be honest. You can make it happen. Number two, your songs need to get back to where it used to be, or even better, to somewhere where it hasn't been, but we'll all appreciate where it's going. Don't just pick a waltz theme and say, well, let's do waltz this time. It's going to be cool. No, create something that is actually very, very appealing, and very idol-like, but also don't be afraid to be innovative. Like you guys were saying with Riton and the rock group. I'm all for them doing something rock. You make it a post-hardcore emo type thing like Yanakoto, and I'm all for it. I would support that 210%. But my point is there's still a lot of music out there that you could keep exploring that could do more, or get your idol sound that you created, for crying out loud, and go back to that and give us an album like that. And number three, obviously, is the members need to really not just stand out, but they need to have an instant recognizability about them. Every single one of them. There's no excuse that not even a Kenkyusei I shouldn't know at least something about them, something good about them. I remember when 16 Gen were introduced at one of the handshake events I went to, when they all came out and they all introduced themselves, each one of them showed their talent. They showed who they were. They tried to do something fun. We need that amplified times 100 with all these members, and showroom is not the way to do it. Showroom is kind of a way, but it's not overall, because I think the way we really remember these girls is when they're put in group situations like on AK Bingo, and we see them kind of get made fun of or joking or they do something crazy. Put them in situations that will make us remember them. When they're just sitting in their room eating cereal, that's not very memorable. I mean, yes, it's fun, but then after about 10 minutes, it's boring, and it's just whatever. I just want them to listen to my comment and respond, and then after they do, you're like, okay, I'm good. You don't remember it, you don't care. So put them in situations, and that would lead me to the other thing: more shows. I don't know what happened. I mean, I guess maybe it is budget, but all the AKB shows disappeared. We basically only have maybe a handful of that, and I'm afraid even those might disappear. So you need to find a better way to project your girls out there, even if it's 10-minute shorts, for crying out loud. For every single girl, do a 10-minute short and throw it up on YouTube. Something kind of like a Sasenkyo appeal video, but a little bit more involved. Maybe make them like groups, and just have fun with it. Why not do like a Team A variety show, a Team B variety show? Make it 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be long, just enough that you can put into it. Go ahead.
Saturday Night Machine, that show was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect example of what I'm talking about. Go by teams and put the girls in funny situations and make them do crazy stuff, and we're gonna remember that, because that's a lot of the reason why I think the original first gen AKB survived. It was AK Bingo. It was watching them on there, and or Shukan AKB, and watching them do so much fun stuff, and you remember that, and that's that. I mean, how many of us here got into AKB because of AK Bingo? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's a staple show pretty much. So yeah.
But it wasn't even the show. It was the fact that you saw these girls doing crazy things and saying funny-ass stuff
exactly.
that made you really want to like them. And it was just fun. It was just so much fun. Idols should be about, three things. One, fun. Two, the music. And three, escapism at its highest.
Yeah.
And if it's not those things, then it's then it's just another thing I'm putting money into. I'm not getting a return on, and I don't want to look at it like that. So, anyways,
yeah,
go ahead.
I think with the individuality, like putting them in those situations will not only make them stand out, but it'll also make their characters more defined and make their aura stronger, if we want to talk about it in that sense. Because once you're in those situations, that kind of helps you grow as both like a public figure and as your own personality. So showing it like that would benefit the individual members to stand out more and for them to learn more about themselves and know how to stand out in their certain ways.
Look at Miyazawa Sai. She's a good example. Somebody, very first girl that caught my eye next to Tomo-chin when I watched AK Bingo. I was a big Sai-chan fan at the beginning, and I loved how when you saw her in Shojiki Shogi, how she's such like a smart aleck.
Oh yeah.
She's so fun. Her facial expressions when they did the what was it, the New Year's prank on her, and she thought she was being singled out and favored.
Oh yeah.
Her reaction, her face. And then you saw her as the ganking, but she was super ganky, and she was always fun and supportive. And you saw that over and over again on AK Bingo. And versus a girl who's on stage performs and you don't even know her name. You see my point? Like, it's just like a Sai-chan could have been just another girl with a great smile on stage, and that's it. I wouldn't have known anything about this tremendous heart she has if it wasn't for seeing that, because again, a lot of us don't get the luxury of going to the Donkey and Akihabara and watching these girls because we can't even get a ticket to get in. And it's just, when you don't see them every day at the theater, and most of us don't live in Japan to do that, and even the people that do live in Japan can't necessarily see that on a daily basis. You don't get a sense of who those girls are individually, like at a theater, during their MCs and whatnot. So what's left? Only seeing them in things like variety shows. Showroom, to me, has been like kind of their band-aid to this whole problem, because they're like, oh, showroom, we're going to make a ton of money, and it's just awesome, and the girls can have their own individual shows. They can do what they want. Yeah, but most of those girls are sitting there, they look bored. They don't even want to be there. I mean, Tani,
they're stuck in their comfort zone there.
Yeah.
Mayoshi plays video games. She doesn't even pay attention. Like, it's just like, it's cool, but it's not, because it's like, it's already, I think, to me, extending its course overall. Get us back to where I can actually see these girls put in situations, like you said, Josh, where their aura really stands out. And I mean, even like when they're doing Shojiki Shogi, for example, you still had one of the girls being a guest commentator. You had there was always going to be a dig at Takamina, so even she got some screen time. It was going to be some other girl that dug at Takamina. Some girl will comment on that, and it somehow drew the entire group in mostly. And that was only about 2 people. I mean, it's just creativity, folks. That's all you got to have. You will see a return to, what AKB needs to be. And I just feel and hope that somebody will wake up over there in AKS and do that. And I hope the Junken's a good reminder of why they need to do it, because it just fell flat and it didn't need to. Bring back the costume. I mean, why, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, okay, that's our show. I think we've covered everything we wanted to talk about. Let's go with some recommendations. Josh, I'll start with you since you are a guest.
Yeah.
Any recommendations for this week?
New Nogi Ego just came out, so you guys can watch that.
There you
Third
go.
gen. It involves third gen. It's 3rd episode with third gen, so that's fun. Keiakake, I think, because of the new lineup announcement, if you want to watch that and look at their expressions.
Yeah.
And what's the next Keiya Bingo?
I don't know, actually. I have to look it up.
I don't know what the next one. Because last time it was the sports.
Yeah, there's a sports
festival. I don't know what this one is, but that's fun. And then Under Construction. The
Yeah.
past 2 episodes have been really funny. It was like them doing like a quiz game, and then like if they lose, they have to fall in like a whole bunch of flour and everything.
Oh wow.
Fun.
It's very like classic variety, and yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yayo.
Nemesu, because AK Bingo's flat again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Nemusu would be good. DX?
I have another show I would recommend, and that's Kinky Kids no Boom Boom Boom. This time around they have Matsumura Sayuri from Nogi as a guest, and it's going to be basically her cooking for the Kinky Kids. This should be funny.
Uh-huh.
I like that, actually. I think that's cool. That'll be fun. Okay, cool. And for me, I don't particularly have anything really to recommend. I'd say watch the Junkin if you haven't. Somebody's gonna have the stream up or thing, I'm sure. But I think my recommendation is to go back and watch some of the old AK Bingo videos and remember what we're talking about and see if we're not right on what we're saying. And also, too, please check out my blog at www.derekvasconi.com because I always love, I talk a lot about all this stuff. Actually, a long time ago, I have a lot of different blog entries on AKB. You might find something there that can resonate with what we're discussing today. And then overall, everybody from last night that joined us on the chat, it was a blast. That was the best part of the night for me was all the comments, and everybody was being hysterical, and it was just a lot of fun to have you all there. Yes, yeah, we were. I think we were all on point. It was fun. And I don't know. I would say also, keep supporting AKB, keep loving them. They're well worth it. Next week we will have Robin back, and it will be a very Robin-centric episode. He will discuss Japan, what he did, the fun stuff, the surprise. I don't want to reveal. You'll see when that happens. And overall, be happy to get back to normal 48 talk. Josh will be, of course, doing his thing every week with the news. Check out his latest one he just put up, which I haven't yet, unfortunately.
Oh my!
Oh, is that a high? Oh, there you go. And I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, same here.
Shots I've seen from it. Oh my god. But so that'll be interesting too. Josh always does amazing commentaries on photo books. His Tomochin one was absolutely incredible. I actually watched the whole thing. It was wonderful. Even though I don't understand some of what you're saying because it's very photo. You're still very you're really good at your editing, man, and making me understand what the book's about without revealing too much and not showing it off just for the butt shots. So very it's very nice that you're very respectful to the people that are in the subjects of the books. So, and thank you, Josh, for that. Thank you for everything you're doing. For all your news stuff. It's always nice to have somebody really just kind of digging into the news every week. And yeah, I think that's our show, guys. So thank you. And it was fun being a host. Hopefully I didn't destroy it in these couple weeks. And thank you guys, for all your support. And we will see you next week. We'll be back again, okay? So take care, guys. Go ahead.
Yayo, take it away.
And Yayo is
nothing
today, so we won't be having a scream, unfortunately. But I'll just say it.
There we go.
Okay.
Let me fill in for you guys because this seems more relevant than ever before. Otamage!
Ciao, ciao.
Woo!